Hello, English learners, and welcome back to the Level Up English YouTube channel. This is Michael, and I'm making a video today to clear up some confusion. So, recently on my Instagram page, you can find a link in the description below, I posted a reel, a short 30-second reel about the word dear, D-E-A-R. And because I see a lot of confusion about this word in English. And I think it's totally understandable because it has a few different meanings, and even more difficult, it has a lot of kind of nuance behind it. So that means that some people can use this word and some people cannot, depending on your position in society. So I'm going to try to clear up as much as I can today because there was only so much I could do in 30 seconds. So I think it needs a little bit of a longer video to clarify this point. But one thing I want to make clear right at the intro here is the reason I'm making this video is because I get a lot of messages from people from other countries calling me dear. Like, hello dear Michael, and things like that. And I just want to say, first of all, this is totally fine for me. I don't really mind. And I think because it's probably translated directly from your language, those of you who message me like that, I understand. In your language, it's probably a very nice term to call people. You're translating the word from your language to English. So I understand that. I think the reason I think it's important to talk about this is because if you say it to like a random guy on the street, he might take it the wrong way. He may even get offended. He may think that you're being patronizing or you're being romantic or something like that. So you have to be very careful with this word. So today I'm going to be talking about the different ways we can use it. And I've got seven different ways to use the word dear. English is a nightmare, isn't it? So yeah, first of all, I should say, if you say hello dear, if you message me and you say hello dear, or you say to someone on the street, excuse me dear, probably this is going to sound very strange. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. That's the first point to get out of the way. The second point is very quickly get out of the way the word D-E-E-R. Deer, this is an animal, and it's just a noun for the type of animal called a deer. This is totally separate from the word we're looking at today. Okay, deer's out the way. Back to the proper word now. The first way in which we use this word is in formal letters. In a casual letter or email, you might just say, hi Michael, or a little bit more formal, to Michael, or to Mr. Smith, for example. Like, to Michael, how are you? Something like that. If you want to make it a little bit more formal, you can use the word dear. Make sure it always comes before their name, before the name. So you would say, dear Michael, comma, or dear Mr. Smith, dear Dr. Michael Smith, something like that. So dear is always at the beginning, and it just, in this context, it just means to Michael. We never use it in speaking in this way. It's always formal writing. So it'll be a letter, an email, or a message. Yeah, but usually, to give you an example, if I message a student or another teacher or someone like that, I will usually just say hi. I think dear is too formal for most situations, I would say, unless it's someone you don't know. The other case where we use dear in this setting is for greetings cards. I don't know why, but if I send my grandma a birthday card, I will say dear grandma, or I might say to grandma. Yeah, but that's another example where we're always a little bit more formal in a birthday card. The second one is in pet names. Pet names. So a pet name is what you might call your husband or wife, or maybe your boyfriend or girlfriend, but I think it's more common for married couples. They've been together for many years and they develop all these special names for each other. And dear is a really common one. So you might say, Oh, hi dear, how are you? Another example of a pet name could be Honey. Honey is really common. Of course, like babe or baby or something like that. Like, hey baby, hi honey, how are you? How was your day? So when the husband comes home from work, the wife is already at home. She might say to the husband, "How was your day, dear?" So it's like, "How was your day, comma, dear?" question mark. So in this sense, in this case, dear is replacing the person's name. How was your day, Michael? How was your day, dear? So hopefully you can see now why it can be inappropriate to call people dear. If you message me and say, "How are you, dear?" it kind of sounds like you are my wife. It sounds like very inappropriate to me. Of course, I don't mind, but some people might find it a bit strange. So just remember, we might say, "I love you, dear. I'll always be with you, dear." It's a very romantic word, right? The next usage of this word is perhaps the hardest one, and this is for terms of endearment. So see, we even have the word dear in there. Endearment. So a term of endearment is a word that we use to kind of bring closeness between two people. And it's like a sweet, nice word to use. I think this is how many people will use this word, but you have to be careful because there's so much hidden meaning as well. So I might go to the supermarket and the lady at the checkout, the cashier, will say, "Oh, hello dear, how can I help you?" In this case, it's probably fine to say that, but it's very specific because usually these words are used by older ladies. So it's usually like an older lady talking to a younger man or a younger woman or younger girl or something like that. If like an older man were to use it, or like a middle-aged man, it might sound a bit patronizing. It's like they're talking down to someone. So you can use this if you want to talk down to someone and make them feel smaller and less important. So for example, I have a friend who's the same age as me. We're both men. And I can say to him, "Be a dear and get me that mug over there." That's a common phrase. Be a dear and help me. So please be a dear and help me. But it's very patronizing. It's kind of like me saying, "I'm more important than you, and you're like this little fragile person that cannot look after yourself." It's a bit patronizing. So you have to be careful how you use that one. Another word I hear is dearie. It sounds even more kind of sweeter, like Dearie. So hello dearie, how are you? And I think I've never heard anyone besides old women use this phrase. Like, hello dearie, can you help me reach the top shelf, please? It'll be something like that, you know? And it's quite sweet. When old ladies say it, it's a nice phrase. But again, if you were to say it, assuming you're not an old lady, it might sound strange. Yeah. And sometimes you might have younger women use this, or maybe very feminine men will use these phrases, like "hello dear," something like that. But it kind of gives them this old person energy. And I think this is where it becomes really difficult because it totally depends on the person, right? Some people can pull this off. I mean, some people can use it and it doesn't sound weird, but other people it just doesn't suit their personality. And it's really hard to put into words why that is. It's just something about the energy someone has. So if you're not sure if you are able to use this word and sound natural and not sound creepy, I would recommend avoiding it. I would recommend not using it just to stay on the safe side, right? But also you can maybe ask a native speaker if they think it sounds natural coming from you, and they might have this kind of sense of how it sounds as well. But okay, that's the hard one out of the way. Let's finish with the last couple examples. The next one is in the phrase, "oh dear." Oh dear. Yeah, so this really just means "oh no." Oh no. Oh dear. It's a little bit more kind of posh and upper class. "Oh no" is more common, I would say. But "oh dear, I left the oven on. I've got to go home. Oh, I forgot my keys. Oh dear, no, what are we going to do?" Something like that. So when something goes a little bit wrong, you can say "oh dear." The next one is a British term. As far as I know, we only use it in the UK, but it's an adjective now, and it means expensive. Expensive. So, I really want to buy this watch, but it's a little bit dear. A little bit too dear for me. A little bit too expensive. So it's more casual, and it's only a British term. Dear, expensive. Yeah, another one to confuse everything. The final one is another adjective, and it just means close, to be close to someone. So you might say, hello, dear friend. And it's like, hello, my very close friend. This one is a little bit tricky as well. We often use it in the third person. So rather than saying, you are a dear friend, I probably would say, he's a very dear friend to me. He's a dear friend to me. It's not super common, I think, because it's so deep and meaningful. And I think, at least in the UK, we don't often like that feeling, you know. So, for example, if I said to my friend, you are a dear friend, or hi, good to see you, dear friend, I think it's too much meaning and emotion behind it. It's too close. And I think my friends, specifically my friends, would find it very weird. Like, oh, Michael, why are you being so affectionate today? Ugh, it's a bit, disgusting. Don't be so affectionate. We're just friends, we're not a couple. But you might see this in movies. For example, I was rewatching Lord of the Rings yesterday, and I think Gandalf is speaking to Bilbo, and he says, goodbye, dear friend. Goodbye, dear friend. So it's a common phrase in movies, because in movies, everything is more emotional, more affectionate, everything is exaggerated. And it also gives this effect that they've been through so much together. They've been so many adventures and all this kind of history behind them. But I think in real life, I don't really hear this very often. Again, third person is more common. Like, he is a dear friend to me. Another common expression is we say, dear to my heart. Yeah, she's very dear to my heart. Again, third person, she is dear to my heart. It just means she is close to my heart. Okay, so there we have it. It was quite a challenge to explain every one, but let me know how you think I did. I hope I simplified it, and I hope I didn't make it more confusing than it was before. Let me know if any of that was new for you, and if you have any follow-up questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to respond to them. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now. Thanks for watching. Want more lessons from me? I teach group classes. I also have podcast transcripts, accent training courses and classes, and of course much, much more. Become a member today at levelupenglish.school.